It's the opening night and they're lighting the lights. The orchestra is tuning to make sure they sound right. It's time to start our show tonight.
My name is Sam Avery. I am the Artistic Director of the Liverpool Comedy Festival. The 2015 Liverpool Comedy Festival is the biggest one yet. We've got over 110 shows in 25 venues across the city. We've got big names, household names, we've got new acts, we've got up-and-coming acts, touring shows, improv, sketch, stand-up, we've got rap battles, we've got competitions, we've got all sorts of stuff. You can even win a comedian in your house, so lots of stuff. So we're going to do a competition where you can win a comedian in your home, which is something that you can, how that's going to go is beyond me, I don't know, but that's something that's going to be a lot of fun. And lots of workshops. We do a lot of workshops with young people. We do a lot of workshops, mental health workshops with people who struggle with mental health issues. So using comedy to talk about their issues, and also as a kind of way of building the confidence up and discussing some of the problems that they have. So we're going to be showcasing some of that during the festival as well. So yeah. This year is different to last year. It's a lot bigger. I think we've got a lot more shows and a lot more venues, and it's a much more diverse lineup, so a lot more shows of a different nature where people can get involved. Not everyone likes the same stuff. That's the thing with comedy, it's very subjective. So if you like, a bit of blue for the dads or whatever like that, we've got stuff like that. We've got clean comedy. We've got stuff for people who are a little bit more, esoteric. We've got all sorts of stuff. Whatever you like, guarantee there's something in the programme for you. People find out about it by either picking up one of our comedy festival brochures across the city, or probably the best thing to do is go on our website, liverpoolcomedyfestival.com. Dates running are September the 18th to October the 4th.
So basically it's about a doctor who unfortunately his father dies from basically going mad and losing his mind, and he basically goes on a path of he's a doctor of medicine and basically formulating formulas to basically treat it. He goes to a board of governors at a very big medical institute in London and asks them if he can have a subject for his experiment, and they basically say no, you can't. So he goes through this path of his life. He's engaged, he's due to get married, and basically he figures out that he's going to have to use himself as the subject of the experiment, of which he starts taking the formula, hence where Mr. Hyde comes from. Because he starts taking the formula and basically he starts going through this path. The whole show is based on basically he's trying to split good from evil. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to find formulas that can split good from evil, because he's convinced that if he does that, then basically he can take away all of madness from a human being. And as the separation goes and as the show goes on, basically his transformations get worse and worse and worse, and the good is there, but the evil's there, to a point where the evil starts taking over, to a point that's really not very good. He also as well actually starts killing off the board of governors of the hospital who would not let him use anybody for the experiments. So there's a lot of murder involved. Gets involved in a prostitute as well along the way, and eventually ends up dying himself due to the formula and what's happening on his wedding day.
I play the part of Lucy Harris, who is a prostitute. She initially meets Dr. Jekyll when he comes to the Red Rat for his bachelor party, but then she actually has a relationship with Edward Hyde as well. So she gets to meet both of them. She falls in love with Dr. Jekyll, but she has this infatuation with Edward Hyde. I did audition for the role of the prostitute. This is actually the third prostitute that I've played with Birkenhead. Starting to get a bit of a typecast, but that's all right. She has the best songs, so it's okay.
Love is worth forgiving for.
Well, obviously it's reasonably modern, whereas very often we've been into the Rodgers and Hammerstein and all the, the Olivers, Sound of Music, and that sort of era of musical is very, very popular. And this particular one is interesting because, of course, it does get pretty violent and so on. And the score is modern, and we have a lot of young people in the company, and it's very nice for them to have a change. We've done, you know, full Monty and lots of modern things, but it was, I think, just time to let them get their teeth into a really nice modern score.
It's very dark. It's very dark production, and the production that we've got is very, very musical. Literally, there's very, very small pieces of dialogue between actually the songs. It's literally a 2.5 hour sing. 2 hours, 2.5 hours sing. So it's very musical, massive orchestra, big supporting company, very, very sung. So there's a couple of versions of the show out there, but the music's by a guy called Frank Wildthorn, who's absolutely amazing. And there's some fantastic music involved. For example, This Is the Moment, which is the big song from the show, and a few other bits and pieces like that. So it is very, very good.
This is the moment.
I mean, it's a fantastic show musically. There's a lot of drama in it. There's you know, intimate scenes, and then there's big group numbers. It's a little bit sexy, it's a little bit naughty in parts as well. So I'd say there's something for everybody in this show. The show will be on from October 22nd to the 24th, including a matinee, and it will be on in the Flora Pavilion in New Brighton.
Hi Spencer, thanks for fitting us in.
Absolutely, it's great to be here.
So you're the co-creator of For Tonight?
Yes, there's 2 other writers as well, yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about the project?
Sure. So the project started about 3 years ago now. My wife and I, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to write about. We wanted to write a musical. And we found a passage in my genealogy about my great-great-grandfather. And it really just kind of spoke to us, and we were really interested to find out more about that, and so that kind of what sparked the project. So we started writing about 3 years ago, and we had its first reading in New York last July, so 2 years later, and it's kind of just happened since then, but it's been very exciting. So.
And what's the plot about then?
So it's based off of my great-great-grandfather in Northern Wales, and his subsequent, he kind of wanted to get out of a little town, and he came to Liverpool, and there he found love, and he came back with his love to his small town, and his family didn't really accept her. And so then he actually eventually went off to America. From there, because this is based in the 1840s. This is when there's a lot of immigrants, and so it was. So we wanted to develop that story, and a lot of the genealogies actually once he got to America. So this was really interesting to kind of just play into this area. I have never been here, and so it's exciting to be here. But yeah, we wanted to explore what that was like here in Northern Wales and Liverpool. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's going to be seen at the Isle of Man?
Yeah, in October, yes. It's going to be part of their new festival called Theatre Fest 15, and I'm really excited that our goal was always if we could ever get to the UK, so it's really exciting that we're going to be able to be here just because of the roots of the show and how it is based here, and it's been exciting for me to learn more about my history and kind of now be able to come back or come here for the first time and see, where my family's from and everything. So
I guess that's fed into the work itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of it's set here anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for the most of it, it's set in Northern Wales, and then we have the whole Liverpool bit in it as well. So it's really great.
Brilliant. And is it going to be full production?
So the Theatre Fest, it will be a concert version of the show, and so you'll get to hear most of the music. There will be narration throughout so that the audience can understand kind of what's happening, but it's going to be more focused on the music side of it with this, and then hopefully from there, maybe coming back here or something, and we'll be able to do a full production after that. So.
And is this the first full musical that you've written?
Yeah, so this was we've been writing music for the last 6-7 years, and we really both my wife and I are theater teachers, and so this is part of our life and everything. And so what we started, we were like, wow, we should do this. We should write for the theater because that's what we love. And so yeah, this is our first full musical, and we're working on another project already. And so it's been really a great experience to go to New York, and then we were at our regional theater in January working on the show, and that was really exciting as well. So it's been really good. Yeah, we would love, for us it would be amazing if, the musical goes on and then there's a hit on the radio. Because I feel like that's what musical theater once was, and in the 40s and the 50s, and now we kind of lost some of that. And I would love to kind of have that sensibility back in the theater and then also on the radio. So I mean, that would be my pipe dream, but that's kind of what we're going for.
Yeah.
So feel very current, but with its own kind of twist and everything. And so.
And audiences can have a sneak preview on your website, can't
Yeah, they can. So we have a couple of the tunes up that we've done kind of rough demos up, so we can just get people introduced to it. Because writing a new musical and getting people familiar with that, it's hard. It's difficult. So that's something that we want to do. And then we're hoping that by October that we'll have a few more tunes up. And we're going to try to work with a music director in New York and trying to get some more demos together so that people can have more on the website and everything. So it's great.
And the hope that it will then come to Liverpool?
Yes, that would be amazing. We're hoping that with this development, or with this reading on the Isle of Man, that there would be some interest, and that we can, maybe do a full production here in the following year. Yeah, absolutely, that'd be amazing.
Watch this space.
Yeah, this was incredible too.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Spencer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Warrington Contemporary Arts Festival is a month-long festival featuring local artists and now up to regional, national and international artists. So we programme a month-long series of events which try and encourage audiences to come down and engage and learn about contemporary art. We do workshops, talks, film screenings, seminars, loads of different stuff. Stuff happening every night, well, nearly enough every night on the weekends. Check it out online, www.warringtonartsfestival.co.uk.
Somebody from the festival came to see the show in Liverpool in January and really liked it, so we booked it for this festival, which is great. Yeah, so That's Amore is a new physical theatre piece, but don't let that put you off, because it's really a great night of entertainment. It explores romantic love, so we have a lot of fun exploring the culture of romance, so rom-coms and songs. And I also work with a writer who's written this brilliant text, which is like a philosophical comment on romantic love. And the idea came from talking about being interested in the science of romance or anthropology, and also the culture of romance. So like where do we get our romantic selves from? Why do we choose a partner? So how much of it's from culture and how much of it is from our DNA or biology? So we worked with 4 brilliant performers and a writer, and we made the show in January, and this is our second tour. We're going on a national tour starting on the 29th of September in Worcester. We're coming to Warrington on the 8th of October, and we're going to some other places in the north as well. So we're back at the Unity on the 28th of October and in Chester on the 6th of October. So you can buy tickets for our show at the Pyramid as part of the Warrington Contemporary Arts Festival from the Pyramid and Parr Hall website. And there's lots of information on the whole tour on our website as well, which is tomesistheatre.com.
So we launch on the 2nd, Friday the 2nd, where you'll be able to come down and have a cultural crawl around all the venues and see some of the pavilions. And it runs until the 31st, so we're going to have kind of like a Halloween silent disco on the last night.
On the Verge is a festival of new performances in unusual places in Liverpool in October, from the 21st to the 25th of October. And we've brought together 9 emerging theatre companies at the beginning of their careers to make new pieces of work outside of the theatre space. So the idea being that theatre can be anywhere for anyone. It doesn't have to just be the traditional things that you might expect. It's all in all sorts of places around Liverpool, so popping up in Liverpool 1, out on the streets, in a disused warehouse, all sorts of different places where you wouldn't normally see that sort of thing. We are having a meeting with the artists that we're working on for our festival On the Verge, which is coming up in October. So every week or two in the lead up to the festival, we're meeting the artists to see where they're up to, give them feedback on their projects, and generally kind of check in, and also kind of peer-to-peer, so together people, all the different companies all coming together to give each other advice and other stuff.
There was a time when a monster who was cruel and mean came stomping through their lovely land. He was tall and hairy and had a grumbly voice which nobody could understand. His fingernails were yellow, his breath stank, and oh, he scared everyone.
Okay, lovely. We got involved with On the Verge because we were really excited to be making some of our own work, and we've been really interested in site-specific work for a long time now. And this was an opportunity to combine making children's theatre and making your own theatre, and our skills facilitating.
And what's your piece about?
So we're making a piece called This Is Not an Office, and we're Are We There Yet Theatre. And the piece is about a monster who's been let loose in an office, and we, the facilitators and the performance, help the children to find the monster and track him down and stop him causing mayhem.
Where did the idea come from then?
I guess it came from the idea that we work with children a lot of the time, and what kids that age are interested in, and how could we engage them with a space that is usually really traditionally adult and boring, and the kind of waiting area where they have nothing to do. It's all about teamwork and getting to know each other.
Yeah, definitely, and also about getting them to involve themselves, to create their own performances rather than just being told what to watch. They get to have a creative input into the piece themselves.
My piece is called Monday, so it's a solo physical theatre performance which explores kind of general everyday life where you get lots of things thrown at you all at once and you want to kind of manage all those things and make the most out of your life, but sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, and it's just how you can kind of manage that situation really. It was an idea that kind of came to me as I was doing a professional development course last year, and then I kind of did a scratch kind of version of it last December in St Helens, and then so when the festival came about, I kind of decided that this was the perfect opportunity to develop it, but to get it to a different audience and a wide audience.
Hello, meat-based life forms. I hope the teleportation device has not prematurely aged you. It is hard to tell with you being so wrinkled and oddly shaped.
The idea of doing something site-specific was really interesting to us, and we just got involved in doing some digital technology, so we thought it would be the perfect experimental kind of place to showcase that. Also, one of our members has worked at Hook Street before with Monza and had only good things to say. We're going to do a multi-room kind of escape performance piece.
Yeah, the audience will be abducted by aliens and taken down into their spaceship.
Yeah, so we're going to have actors walk through with them to help them through the puzzles and stuff. And it's a bit of a test of humanity, essentially, as a theme to see whether we're worth being in the intergalactic community. But we don't want to give away too much because you have to discover the story as you go along. Although we do have some kind of exciting stuff planned. We Bring the Fire project, who normally work with fire from the name, but this time they're going to be working with projection, mapping and LED flow arts manipulation. So I don't want to give away too much, but that should be a pretty spectacular bit.
Yeah.
So. Hopefully there'll be lots of cheeky little nods in there for any kind of sci-fi fans, like anyone who's read, say, like Douglas Adams or likes Red Dwarf or anything like that. We're hoping that they'll like it, but anybody who likes those kind of computer games as well. So I think it's like a nice crossover for maybe theatre goers to go and see something that's a bit more kind of gamery, and maybe for gamers to come down and see something that's a bit more performance and see how those two things can really interact with each other. Because it's like getting the people out of their bedroom into the physical, and then maybe getting the physical people into a bit more of an imaginary world that people explore on their own. So, yeah.
There's also a series of panel events that we're doing as well. So the idea is that we're going to get eminent professionals to come and talk about making work in unusual places and what the challenges are, and hopefully we'll all learn something from that and keep going. So On the Verge is happening from the 21st to the 25th of October this year, and you can go to our website www.hope-street.org for more information about all the different companies and how you can get hold of tickets.